Hi, I'm Maya and this is the channel Book from Dreams. This video will be my HRCYED 2.0 wrap-up. So for all of you who don't know, HRCYED, or the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do, is a year-long reading challenge in which there is a bingo board and each square on the bingo board is a mini reading challenge of its own. And I have been doing these HRCYED updates for the whole year now. So if you want to check them out, please do check out the playlist that is in the description box and somewhere here. So last I left you, or in my last update, I think I had around 8 prompts left. And now let's go to the spreadsheet that I used to track my reading. And this is what the spreadsheet looks like now. So as you can see, I have only 4 prompts left. The challenge is now over, and I have managed to fulfill 21 of the 25 prompts. Now let's see what I've managed to do since last time I checked in. So I did nothing new for the award season. I just, I don't know, I just sort of abandoned this prompt because I knew I put books that were part of the self-published fantasy blog of awards. And those are usually fantasies like around, between 300 and 500 pages. And I was, I guess, not in the mood to read stuff like that. For the disability challenge, so I finished this prompt and I had to go back because I had a book on my TBR that would cover disability challenge and heritage months, but I DNF'd it at halfway point. So I went back through the books that I've read this year and I looked at things that I have just use for one prompt, because you can use a book for 2 different prompts. And I found A Love Most Brutal by Cath Richards. This is a mafia romance. The reason this book fits in this prompt is because our main character has OCD. Not OCD, she has anxiety. See, I have notes. She has anxiety and she has OCD, I see. And there were several panic attacks on page. And that's why it fits on the disability challenge. And with that, I finished this prompt. Heritage months. I basically had Disability Pride left, and I used Afterglow by Emily Antoinette for this prompt, another book that I read previously. You saw it in the Disability Challenge. In this story, we follow, I don't remember the girl's name, so a human and a vampire. The human suffers from chronic pain, and I think something to do with her neck and back something. And because of that, she has trouble maintaining friendships and maintaining relationships. And she meets this vampire gal whose name I also don't remember. And they sort of start friendship, but then it turns into romance, and then stuff happens. Because it deals with this disability of chronic pain, that's why it fits in the prompt. And with that, I finished Heritage Month's prompt. Yay! For the translation challenge, nothing has changed since the first time I read a book for this. I think my problem was because I picked like a non-fiction, non-fantasies or sci-fi books for this prompt, and that's why I wasn't really drawn to reading them, and I didn't, and that's why it's stuck here where it is. For the even bigger rainbow, so what have I read since last time for this? So I read Caught Up by Navessa Allen. This is book 2 in her dark romance series. As you can see, the whole thing is red, and that's why it fits in this prompt. In this, we follow a mafia guy. He is basically a big fan of Cam Girl, and he stalks her as well, and they meet up in real life. I mean, I think he orchestrates it, so they meet up, and their relationship develops, and there's mafia stuff that happens as well, but it's not so prevalent as in like a classic mafia romance. But yeah, it's dark, it's steamy, and I read it for the color red. For yellow, I read Everything is Tuberculosis by John Green. This is a non-fiction book about tuberculosis and how it affects our lives and what role this disease had in the history of Earth. And it was a very interesting book. As you can see, the cover is yellow, and that's why I put it in yellow. And I think that is it, the new things that I read for this prompt. And with that, I finished the prompt. So yay me. Make a quote. Nothing has changed since last time you saw it. Become the avatar. Now, here's the thing. So I first chose to do the Become the Avatar. So basically the prompt was to read books that had the 4 avatar elements. So earth, water, fire, and air. You had 2 options. You can read books that had those words in the title, or you can read books that have those words somewhere in the cover. Like, so water, there's like water on the cover, rain and such. So I went to check to see all the books that I've read that I haven't used for 2 prompts, to see if I can fit the cover, if I can find covers that would fit the prompt, and I managed to do so. So I did this challenge by doing the cover challenge. So for water, I put Whispers of the Deep by Emma Hamm, because there is water on the cover, as you can see. Let me see water on the cover. For Earth, I put Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. As you can see, there are mountains and fields and whatever. So part of Earth, and it's on the cover, and that's why it fits. For Fire, I put Matt Dinniman's Operation Bounce House. As you can see, there is fire on the roof and around the house. So that's why it fits here. And for Air, I put A Pirate's Life for Tea by Rebecca Thorne. Because you can see clouds, you can see like air and stuff, and she's up in the air on her boat, whatever. It fits for the cover. And with that, I finished this prompt, and I'm very proud of myself because I figured it out and I managed to make it work. So yay me. So for BIPOC, nothing has changed since the last time I spoke to you. These are the 4 books I've read for this prompt. I put like most of these books I put on my TBR for HRCYED 3.0, so they're going to be read. And new releases. So last I spoke to you, I think we talked about May, and for June I read Volic by S.J. Tilly. This was not the book that I was going to read for June, but when it came out, first I was surprised that a book by S.J. Tilly was coming out, because I had no idea. Yeah, I enjoy her writing. In her previous series, I was very annoyed by her short sentences, but thankfully that was just the previous series. And this new one, Volic, he's a vampire, and he walks around a university and finds his mate, and then stuff happens. It was a fun paranormal spicy romance. So if you want to check it out, please do. It was cool. And with that, I finished the prompt. So that prompt was finished. And that is it. So let's just revise what the bingo board looks like at the end. So if you look at the board, I have achieved 5 bingos. And that's great, because I think at some point my only goal was to achieve 1 bingo. So achieving 5 is awesome. And let's just quickly go to the stats. So here are the stats for my HRCYED 2.0 reading challenge. As you can see, I've read a total of 104 books. Okay, I didn't put in all the wanted information, so some things are like blank and such. As you can see, an average day of reading a book was 4 days. An average rating was 3.54, and apparently the months read the most was September, which is, I guess, surprising. So here are the prompts and how many books I read for each prompt. And for genres read, so the most I have is, let's see, 7.9. How is nonfiction the biggest one? And fantasy romance, I guess, 7.0%. Fantasy adventure, 3.9. Contemporary romance, 7.8. Let's see. Dystopian, 6.8. Because there was a time I just kept reading like sci-fi dystopians. So when you talk about means of reading, so most of that was ebook and audiobook. Audiobook leading by, like, it was 40% audiobook, which tracks. New and rereads. So for this, 97% of the books I read have been new to me, and 3% were rereads, which is cool. Here are all the authors I've read, and of all the authors I've read, so top authors I read, Alice Osmond, 4 books. I read her Heartstopper series. Then I have Martha Wells, 3 books by Martha Wells. That would be Witch King. And I read 2 murder bots for this one, yeah. Ilona Andrews, 3 books. That makes me happy. Could be more, but I just stopped myself. Let's see. James S.A. Corey, 4 books, because I was reading the Leviathan, the Expanse series by them. And Sam King, 3, because I think books I read the first trilogy of her, like, orc romance stuff. And that's it for my HRCYED wrap-up. I had a lot of fun with this challenge. It is an awesome, very creative challenge, and I am doing 3.0. So I will leave the link to the 3.0 announcement video down below in the description box. By the time you see this video, the challenge has already started, but you can join at any time. It just has to last a year. So yeah. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any thoughts and comments, please do share them down below. Press the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.